Shake out any areas of tightness after a night of sleep. Open and close your jaw a few times. Release any tension in your face. And you can have your arms by your sides. You can bring your arms onto your hands, rather, onto your body. So you can feel your inhales and exhales. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Soften your face, relax your shoulders. And using the connection of the hands on your rib cage and your belly, start to notice your inhales and exhales the way they are today. The quality, the texture of your breath, the temperature of the air as it comes in and out. Without putting any labels, making any judgments about your breath, the way you feel, it makes you feel, let yourself just notice. And use this information to set an intention for today's practice. We call it sankalpa, the intent, and word it as I am, followed by whatever it is that you would like to feel. Repeat your intention to yourself twice more. And take a deep breath in through your nose. Soft breath out through your mouth. Seal your intention. Start to bring movement back into your fingers, your toes. Release your arms down by your sides. Rock your head gently. And start to bend your knees. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Rock side to side. And come back to the center. If there are any props, you can use them or move them out of the way. Release your left foot down onto your mat or your props. And hug your right knee in. Take a few circles with your right knee. And after 3-4 circles, switch the direction in which you're going. Bring yourself back to the center once you feel even. Hands behind your right thigh. Straighten your right leg up, point and flex your foot a couple times. Keep your shoulders relaxed. And we'll get into the knee and hip a little bit more. Hands at the back of your thigh, just as they were. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, keep your hands as they are. Bring your knee into your chest. So no need to switch your grip to the top of your shin. We'll do this a couple more times. Inhale, straighten the leg. Let your arms straighten. Exhale, bend the knee. Relax the leg as you hug it in closer. One more time, inhale. And exhale, hug the knee in. Switch the hands to the top of your shin now. Straighten your left leg. We'll find supine twist. Very gentle supine twist. Bring your right knee across your body to the left. Use the props that you have, or don't use any props. And let your right shoulder relax down. And once you feel ready, settle in. You won't be in this twist for too much longer, but just enough time for you to let go, gripping sensation in your body so you can let yourself be supported by your props. Slow down and deepen your breaths. Relax your forehead. Unclench your jaw. And slowly release. Bring yourself back onto your back. Bend both knees. Let your knees rest towards each other and pause for a few moments, feeling the space in the right side of your low back, your right hip, right leg. And keep your right knee bent, draw your left knee into your chest. Take a few circles with your left knee. 3, 4 circles going one way, and then switch the direction. Come back to the center, hands behind your left thigh, send your left foot up, point and flex, take some circles with your ankle. Bend and straighten the knee, inhale, legs straight. Exhale, relax your leg, hug the knee into your chest. Inhale and out. One more big breath in and a big breath out. Hug your left knee in, straighten your right leg. Pause here for a few moments. And if you were using any props, move them over to the other side. And once you are set up, find a supine twist. Bring your left knee across your body to the right. And let your gaze stay up towards the ceiling or turn your head to the left. If your awareness shifted away from you, bring it back. Deepen your breath even more, relax your body. Take one more big inhale and exhale. Bring yourself back, bend both knees, pause for a moment. We'll do one more shape on our backs and then we'll come up. Many ways to use the props. You also don't have to use any props. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide, and you can stay just as you are, arms by the sides of your body or hands on your belly and your heart. If you feel that the weight of your legs is a little bit too much and the sensation of stretching your inner thighs is making you feel uncomfortable, unable to relax or to breathe fully, or maybe your back is lifting off the floor and that's what makes your shape a little bit more intense, bring your knees up slightly and support your knees with your props. If you have two blankets, two pillows, or two yoga blocks, you can put one under each side. And yourself gently from the crown of your head down to the tips of your toes, noticing any areas that feel heavy, any areas that feel light, using your breath to find balance in sensations in your body. Use your breath to create a little bit more space between your thoughts. Every time you notice yourself focusing on something else other than the present moment, take a bigger, longer inhale, a more relaxed exhale. Take 3 more inhales and exhales. Let each next breath be longer and fuller than the one before. When you are ready to move, use your hands to bring your knees up. Keep your knees bent and decide which side you would like to roll onto. Send that arm back and roll onto your side. Pause for a moment. Reconnect with your body, reconnect with your breath. And when you're ready, press yourself up to a seat. Move the props out of the way, lower down onto your belly. Bring your hands over each other, rest your forehead on top of your hands, and if you have any sensitivity in your low back, bend your knees, windshield wiper your feet side to side a few times. Release your feet down. Come up onto your forearms for a gentle Sphinx pose. You don't have to use any props. If you wish to feel more supported, you can place a folded blanket or a pillow under your chest. You can keep your head lifted. You can release your chin down. You can even rock your chin across your chest, feeling gentle stretch in the back of your neck. Let your hips stay heavy. Relax your shoulders down. Three more inhales and exhales here. And if you have any props under your chest, move them out of the way. Lower down onto your belly. Hands over each other, forehead down on your hands. You can bend your knees and windshield wiper your knees to release any tension in your low back. Release your feet down. Press yourself up into a tabletop and sit back on your heels for a moment. We'll get into our hips next. So you might use props or not. That depends on your body. And know that because we're staying in poses a little bit longer, you can try different things and really see what works for you best. We'll start with Gomukhasana legs, cow face legs. Find your way into a tabletop. And bring your knees all the way together. Step your right knee behind the left. Also, if you have sensitive knees, feel free to use a blanket under your knees for the next few postures. Take your feet as wide as your hips or as wide as your yoga mat if you are practicing on one. And first, lower down onto your forearms. Reach your hips back. It might be that your hips are just over your knees, and that's where you feel the stretch in your outer thighs. Totally fine. You can walk your hands forward more and reach your hips back more, lowering your forehead down. Or you can instead sit back between your heels and keep your shoulders over the hips. So this is where your props might become useful. If your hips do not reach the floor, place a bolster, blanket, couple yoga blocks under your seat. The legs shape is the same. We're looking for a place where you feel tolerable stretching sensation in your outer thighs and where you can continue to breathe. So if sitting upright is uncomfortable for your knee, ankle, hip joints, your low back, you can come back forward into a tabletop version of cow's face legs, and you can rest your hands by your sides or on your thighs if you are sitting up. We'll be here for a few moments. Let your base soften. And remember that we want the degree of sensation to be gentle. We want this to be about 3 or 4 out of 10 in terms of intensity. For deeper, longer inhales and exhales. One more deep breath in and out. We'll come out slowly. If you are seated upright, make your way into a Gomukhasana legs tabletop first. If you are facing down, press yourself up to the same shape and uncross your legs, step your right leg out. You can stretch your legs one at a time. or find a downward facing dog pose. And when you're ready, meet in a tabletop with your legs together. This time, left knee behind the right. Take your feet wider and move slowly as you explore how this side feels. Maybe you lower down onto your forearms. Maybe you bring your forehead down. Maybe you sit back. We want the degree of sensation to be similar on this side, and maybe you use your props slightly differently, if any at all. Once you are in a place where you can breathe comfortably, where the intensity of this pose is tolerable, about 3 or 4 out of 10, settle into stillness. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Keep your spine long. Soften your face. Relax your shoulders. One more big breath in and out. Release slowly. Find any movements that you might need after this pose on this side. And swing your legs in front of you. Sit with your legs extended. Feel free to use a pillow or a blanket to sit up on. And first, just go ahead, shake out your legs. Windshield wiper your feet. We'll give our knees a little break and ankles. Take your feet out wide. Doesn't matter how wide they go, just whatever feels wide for you. And maybe it's just as wide as your hips. You don't have to use any props. If you use some props, you can place them in front of you and start by tucking your chin. Maybe you stay here with your chin tucked in, and that's already enough for you. If you want a little bit more sensation for your spine, your hamstrings, start to walk yourself forward as you round your spine down. Let yourself melt into whatever support you have underneath you. And know that the depths of the pose will happen over time. You don't have to find your fullest expression right away. Let gravity help you settle in deeper into this shape. And slowly come up. Use your hands to help you lift. Pause for a moment. And use your hands under your knees to help your knees come up. Lean back, windshield wiper your knees side to side a couple times. And stretch your legs in front of you, shake them out. We'll find a gentle seated twist before we get back onto our backs. Bend your right knee. Your foot can stay inside of your right, if inside of your left knee. You can even step it out a little bit more to give yourself enough space to twist. You can step your right foot over the left knee as well. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to your right. You can hold on to your right knee with your left hand and maybe use your right hand on the prop behind you. And slowly untwist. Straighten both legs. Pause for a moment. And we'll twist the other way. Bend your left knee. Find a comfortable place for your left foot where your spine is nice and long. And turn to the left. Bring your right arm around your knee. And release. Come back to the center. We'll set up for a few restorative poses as we closing this practice. Find a prop that you would like to use to support your spine. It can be a pillow, it can be a folded blanket. You will use another prop under your knees. We'll find a heart opener. If you have a blanket that you're using under your spine, fold it the long way 3 or 4 times. And you can tuck in the very end of it so it supports your head. Make sure that your head is supported by whatever prop you have behind you. And if it's not long enough, let there be more support under your head than there is under your low back. Let yourself relax your spine, your back of the head, your neck into your props. If you don't have anything else to support your knees, you can just bend your knees and bring your knees together, feet on the floor. If you do have a prop or a few, let your knees stay supported by the prop. And with your arms, we're going to cross over the chest. Doesn't matter which elbow is on top. We'll switch the crossing in a little bit. If you have an eye pillow, you can place it over your eyes, or a small towel. Tune inwards more and to let go of the distractions of the outside world. Maybe you notice the sound of your own breath. Switch the crossing of your arms. Reach your arms out and bring opposite elbow on top. And release your arms. If you feel content where you are and you wish for a longer Shavasana, you can stay exactly as you are. If you would rather take Shavasana in any other way and want to move a little bit before you relax completely, go ahead and roll off your props. Move the props out of the way and find a short happy baby pose. You can hold on to your shins, ankles, your feet, rock side to side. Bend and straighten your knees a couple times. And when you feel ready, gather your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze, and exhale, relax into your Shavasana. You can cover yourself up with a blanket. You can use any support under your head, your knees. Just a few moments of stillness. You can stay in your Shavasana longer. Turn off your device and come back to stillness. The rest of your day is calling for you. Start to bring movements back. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, rock your head side to side. When you feel ready, send your arms back. Take a full body stretch like you would first thing in the morning. And bend your knees, roll over onto either side. Pause. Reconnect with your body, with your intention and your breath. Your eyes closed, press yourself up to a seat. Use your hands to help you. And bring your shoulders over your hips, hands at the heart center. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, bow down. The universal light in me reflects and honors the universal light in each of you. Namaste.